My name is Linda. I'm a 32-year-old stay-at-home mom. I have a husband who's a salaried worker and a 5-year-old son named Tyler. My father-in-law passed away 2 years ago. Concerned about my elderly mother living alone, my husband suggested we start living with my mother-in-law. Although my husband is the second son, his older brother, Michael, is working in the trade industry and is currently on an overseas assignment. My relationship with my mother-in-law isn't the stereotypical fraught mother-in-law and daughter-in-law dynamic often depicted in dramas. It's actually quite harmonious. Despite her age, my mother-in-law, Kate, is still full of energy. I adore how she's always smiling gently, tending to the garden, or knitting. "Kate, I bought some donuts, let's have some with coffee." "Oh, how delightful. I love this shop." "Haha, you introduced me to it, and now I'm a big fan too." Like this, we get along well every day. My husband's job is going well. My son is adorable and growing up healthy and strong. However, there are problems even in these peaceful days. It's about Michael's wife, Erica, and their son, Ken. Erica is 2 years older than me. Ken is the same age as our Tyler, 5 years old. It's not so much a problem as it is a concern. It's about Erica dropping off Ken. To my mother-in-law, Ken is just as precious as our Tyler. It's not that she minds taking care of him. But the frequency is the issue. I'd understand if it were just once in a while. Since Michael is abroad, it must be tough for Erica to raise a child alone. Everyone needs a break. But when it becomes excessive, she drops him off almost every weekend from morning and sometimes even during the weekdays. I'm asked to pick him up from the daycare and end up keeping him until the evening. This problem arose because our houses are too close. We too would like to go out on weekends. It's fine to take Ken along for small outings, but it's not feasible for vacations. Just when our son has grown enough to travel, we still haven't gone anywhere. My mother-in-law says, I'll watch over him, but it must be hard for her to look after Ken alone, given her age. At 5 years old, kids are full of mischief and love to play pranks. Ken, in particular, is quite the little tyrant. Our son often ends up crying after having his things taken away. According to Ken, what's yours is mine. Our Tyler always ends up on the losing end. Today is Sunday. This morning, Erica came over unexpectedly and left Ken with us again. She said it was urgent work, but I wonder if that's true. Ken has a free spirit. Today, our hallway became the venue for an impressive exhibition. What in the world are you doing? Removing scribbles of crayons everywhere is a real hassle. When I get mad, Ken just laughs and runs away. Today, I won't let it slide. Even though he's someone else's child, it's time for a lecture. As Ken runs away, he yells, "Wah, the monster is chasing me." Who are you calling a monster? Here comes the monster. And the villain. Wah. Wait, aren't monsters and villains different? Which one is scarier? But before that, who's calling me a villain? I stopped in my tracks when I heard a voice joining in from behind. Hey, there, villain. Ken seems to be having a blast today too. There stood Erica, back from work. Erica, I've said this many times, but it's troubling when you suddenly leave him with us. We have our own schedules to consider. What's the big deal? We should help each other out in times of need. My husband is hardly ever back from his overseas assignment, you know? It's tough for me to take care of our child all by myself. You're a stay-at-home mom, so you have it easy, you could at least help out. In that case, please be ready to help out when we're in a bind too, okay? That's a different matter. I'm super busy, so look elsewhere. What happened to helping each other out? I want to scream, but I, the adult here, hold it in. I manage a smile, though it's strained. We're not a convenience store, you know. But Erica just smirks back unapologetically. Well, weekends pay better, right? You and Kate should be fine. That's impossible. Breaking through the impossible is what makes a top-notch housewife. I've never heard such a thing. Anyway, don't expect us to take care of him if you bring him over unannounced again. Huh, whatever. Erica responds emotionlessly to my words. When I glared at her with an even fiercer expression, she reluctantly nodded and said, "All right, I understand." Victory for the villain. After that, the frequency of Ken's visits dropped a little. But it didn't stop completely. She still shows up unannounced as usual. Maybe I was too passive because Erica is Michael's wife. If you stand your ground firmly. Shut up, will you? I'm working. A stay-at-home mom who can't even double-click has no right to speak. I'm struggling every day on my own. I deserve to have a little fun. Let me go out for drinks, let me have fun, let me go wild at dance club. What a spectacular tantrum. She admitted it's not about work, it's about play. Going wild at dance club, really? Even though you leave him with us every day, how can you say you're struggling on your own? We spend more time with Ken than you do. Time spent together doesn't define the bond between parent and child. Ugh. Enough, I'm wasting my time talking to you. I'm off to dance club alone. I'll dance until I feel exhausted. Hey, wait. Erica flees like the wind. It's always like this with her, and getting nowhere. On weekends, at least my husband is around to help with the kids, but weekdays are a different story. When I'm doing the shopping or preparing dinner, the kids are often left with my mother-in-law, which tires her out. Feeling like we were reaching our limit, my husband spoke to Michael about it. But the response wasn't promising. He mentioned being too busy with work to deal with it, arguing that working for the family was inevitable. Sure, working for the family is important, but neglecting them is not the right approach. It's counterproductive. Yet, Michael ended the call with a casual, "Take care of my wife and son for me, will ya?" How irresponsible. Getting a straight answer from Michael was like catching smoke. Talking to Erica was futile. What are we supposed to do now? Then, one day, an incident occurred during the loud cicada sounds of midsummer. This year's heat was particularly severe, with a string of extremely hot days. While we were minimizing our outings, my mother-in-law collapsed. It was another scorching day. Heatstroke was the cause. Fortunately, I noticed quickly and called an ambulance, so her condition wasn't critical. But given her age, she was hospitalized as a precaution. I'm sorry for the trouble. I just couldn't stop worrying about the garden and got too carried away with it. No, I'm the one who should apologize for not noticing sooner. My mother-in-law looked apologetic, but I shook my head. I was the one who felt sorry. Worry and guilt made me feel like crying inside. My husband and son also looked worried. But her recovery was quick, and it was a relief to see her complexion improve. Looking at us, my mother-in-law said, "Isn't tomorrow the start of your summer vacation? Why don't the three of you go on a trip? It's the perfect time." We were shocked by her suggestion. We said it was impossible, but she reassured us, "I'm in the safest place possible now, the hospital, so it's okay." Eventually, I couldn't hold back my tears any longer. A mix of emotions just came pouring out. "Please contact us immediately if anything happens." To my words, my mother-in-law smiled and nodded reassuringly. It was right around the summer festival. My husband was about to start his summer holiday break. Taking my mother-in-law's words to heart, we decided to go on a short car trip, though it was quite sudden. It was just an overnight trip, but it was enough for us at the moment. "Grandma will join us next time," my son said, and both my husband and I nodded with a smile. And on our way back from a fulfilling trip we hadn't had in a long time, that call came out of the blue. It was from Erica. "Hello? Ah, hey, there. What are you doing? I've been calling you so many times. I'm sorry, I didn't notice. Is something wrong?" "It's not just a something. I left Ken at your front door a while ago. Take care of him for a bit, will ya?" "What?" "Ah, wait," she hung up. In a rush, I checked the call history and realized that over 30 minutes had passed since the first call. "Honey, please drive safely but hurry. Ken has been left in front of our house." My husband, startled by my urgent request, gripped the steering wheel tighter. We must always drive safely, no matter the situation. But just this once, I wished our car could turn into a jet plane. Please let him be safe. I prayed, clutching my phone tightly. A week later, my phone rang. It was from Erica.
Hello.
Long time no speak. Gosh, I'm so tired from my business trip. Thanks for looking after Ken for a whole week. I'll come pick him up today. So cheers. What are you talking about? Huh? I mean, Ken is. We're on a trip right now. What? Oh, right, I see. But Kate is there, so. Kate has been hospitalized this whole time. Didn't you see the message I sent? I asked, knowing she hadn't seen it. She probably thought calls from us were a nuisance. Given that the calls went straight to voicemail after a few tries, she must have turned off her phone. Erica's voice started to rise as she processed my words. A trip? Since when? Since the day you last called. We were in the car on the way there. And Kate? She had already been hospitalized by then. It looks like her discharge will be a bit later. What? Wait, then where's Ken? I don't know. That's ridiculous. With that, the call abruptly ended. I listened to the toneless beep, smirking as I looked at the person next to me. Ken. I was a bit surprised when Erica burst in, looking frantic. She must have had some affection for her son, after all. Ah, it's Mom. But as soon as she entered and saw Ken's smiling face, Erica collapsed, seemingly drained of all strength. Wah. Ken. And you, why, and even Dad and Mom. Erica looked around in shock at everyone present. In our living room, there were not only us, supposedly on a trip, and my mother-in-law, supposedly hospitalized. But also Michael, supposed to be overseas, and Erica's own parents. Why is everyone here? It's not, why is everyone here? What were you thinking? Leaving Ken at the door without saying anything. On such a hot day, what were you thinking, you fool? What? That day, thinking they'd be closer since they lived in the same city, I had called Erica's parents, who were closer to us than our vacation spot. Rushing over, Erica's parents found Ken crying in the shade. That day was hot, too. Just to be safe, Ken was checked at the hospital, but fortunately, he was fine and had spent the week at Erica's parents' house. And today, everyone gathered at our house. Scolded by her own parents, Erica shrank back. I clapped my hands sharply, and Erica looked at me, startled. Okay, then. Let's begin the discussion to address Erica's actions. A discussion? Yes, that's right. Now, please look at this. I said and turned on the computer monitor. The monitor displayed a calendar marked with red circles on certain dates. These red circles represent the days you left Ken at our house. This many. What have you been doing? I thought you were working hard, but you weren't at all. Well, that's. Erica's parents were taken aback. Ignoring Erica, who was mumbling something indecipherable, I continued speaking. The important part is here. I moved the mouse pointer to a specific date. From around this time, the frequency of leaving Ken with us increased dramatically, including on weekdays. That's because work got busier. It was Michael, who had returned from abroad, who objected. You should have been able to live comfortably on the money I send alone. Why did you need to take on so much work? Was there really a need for so many part-time shifts just for a change of pace? I wanted to buy things for Ken. I haven't gotten anything. Ken. Erica cried out in dismay at Ken's words, but no, please keep your mouth shut. I thought it was strange, so I did a little digging. And I found out quite a bit. I looked around at everyone and continued. Right around the time the frequency of leaving Ken increased, you quit your job. What? Everyone except me and the kids expressed surprise. That's confirmed with your former employer, so there's no mistake. I called thinking, wow. What kind of part-time job involves business trips, only to hear, huh? She quit ages ago. I was shocked. That must be some mistake. No mistake. So, the question is, what were you doing then? And that's where this photo comes in. Click with the mouse. Stay-at-home moms can double-click, you know. Suddenly, a photo appeared large on the monitor. "What's this?" Michael exclaimed.
Ah.
Erica screamed. The photo showed Erica in close contact with some man. Then, more photos slid by. Holding hands, entering a hotel. A stunning collection of photos proving her affairs. It was a good decision to hire a detective before the incident of Ken being left behind. The results came back in just a few days. They were so efficient. The detective said the investigation was easy, probably because their public displays of affection were too conspicuous. Although I had to pay a bit more for the rush job, I have no regrets. Erica. Erica turned pale under Michael's glare. It's not what it looks like, I swear. This is all. There's no excuse. You neglected your child and even left him at someone else's doorstep. This is utterly irresponsible. Erica was taken aback by my words. Probably never expecting such a serious accusation. So, you've acted irresponsibly, Erica. Irresponsible. And to add to that, the crime of infidelity. Added. Now, Michael, please go ahead. I waved my hand towards Michael. He nodded and announced. Divorce. He had already decided to get divorce. What? No. This is divine retribution. Erica collapsed right there. What's going on? Before the photos were shown, the children were sent to another room. But hearing Erica's scream, Ken came back. Erica looked at Ken approaching. Her face a mess with tears and snot. Ken seemed a bit taken aback. Ken, you need mommy, right? You'd be lonely without me, right? Ken appeared to contemplate Erica's words. But it was only for a moment. He quickly smiled and said, I don't need mommy. Even when we're together, you have always on your phone, and you only make macaroni and cheese. Well, kids are honest. And they are innocent, too. Erica was face down on the floor, devastated by the honest yet innocent words from her child. Afterward, my mother-in-law pretended not to know anything. I gave Michael a thorough talking to for his part in this. Michael was full of apologies, showing deep remorse. Erica was whining and reluctant, but her parents took her back to their home. A few months later, the divorce was finalized smoothly. Of course, Michael got custody. Erica was asked to leave her parents' house and is reportedly living modestly. I heard that from her parents. Incidentally, Erica's affair partner vanished the moment Michael filed for compensation. As for Ken, he is being lovingly raised by Erica's parents. But since they're not too far away, he still comes to visit us from time to time. Today is one of those sometimes. Look, Ken, today we have Grandma's meat and potatoes. Wow.
Yay!
I love it. Is that so? Is that so? Eat a lot and grow big.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow up and join the hero squad. What about you, Tyler? What do you want to be? I want to be the hero, too. Michael is negotiating with the head office in America to expedite his return. It seems his salary will be reduced, but he says nothing is more important than his child and is doing his best. It won't be long before Ken can live with his dad. Alright, from me, it's hamburgers.
Yay!
I love mommy's hamburgers. Hey, Tyler, not mommy, remember? Oh, right, that's true, Ken. What was it again? That's it. Auntie's the best, like seriously divine. A goddess, right? I nod emphatically at those words. Linda, you know. My husband's voice, tinged with exasperation, makes me laugh out loud. The children's laughter follows mine. Today, our home is once again filled with joy and laughter.